Wait a little. Oh. Hello, Tina. Hello, Tabby. Hello, Tiola. Hello, Samantha. Hello, Loni.
Hello.
You guys,
Hello.
how's it going Saturday for you guys?
Um,
I cannot hear you, Tiola, if you're speaking.
Hello, Anderson. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Now I can hear you. Let's wait a little bit for others to join as well.
Okay. Okay, Anderson, I think we can give 5 minutes for the others to join, and then after that, we can kick off.
All right, let's wait then.
Okay.
So Ben, how is the Saturday going for you guys?
Training is
I need to hear him talking, that's the issue. As I muted, I cannot hear anybody talking.
Tina, Lizzie, Tumenta, Fiola, feel.
There's some mic doing feedback.
It seemed that it seemed I was muted while talking. I was saying that you guys should answer the questions Anderson is asking. The questions are for you, not for me. So, Tina, I'm expecting you to participate, you especially. Same for you, Lizzie, Tumenda, Diola, and the others who are going to join.
Don't worry, you're gonna know who I am in a few moments. Just wait for everyone. I know I'm a new face that you are seeing, but it's gonna be explained soon. Don't worry.
Anderson, we can't hear you.
Now you can. Damn. Okay. So I was saying, since we are waiting for everyone, let's talk a little bit of our day. Just not be silence. I don't like silence, to be honest. So I'm gonna start myself. How is my Saturday going? Um, my Saturdays, I've started to develop some features of a full stack application I'm doing. I'm using Java on the back end, Java Spring Boot. I'm using React Native, and then for the design, I'm using Figma. So both React Native and Java are new technologies for me. React Native is JS, is React, so not so new. There are some things that I'm seeing, like some bugs happening only on Android. In terms of Java, it's also not completely new to me. I have some experience. Yeah. So far I can say that um, I took mostly yesterday and today on the React Native side. So it's taking a little bit more time. Usually it should be on the backend side. So yeah, that's it for me for today. Who wants to go next?
Lizzie,
Anything is
you can
good.
go next. Lizzie, your mic is muted. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, today I have classes today, and Saturdays are usually evaluations. So just evaluations and then classes for today.
No assignments.
Hmm?
No assignments today.
Plus assignments, but mostly
Aha.
evaluations.
Great. Thank you. I'm coming, by the way.
Tina, I mean, are you waiting for me to call your name? Aren't you gonna talk?
Lonnie, you next. How has been your day? I've seen some commits going on.
Can I go next, please? Since okay, my day has been good. I started internship today. What did I do? Okay, we had like a rundown of how our activities are supposed to go during the 6 month internship, and we already have tasks that have been assigned to us. So that's how my day has been going.
Thank you. You said it was your first day?
Yes, my first day.
Wow. How has it been so far?
It has been good.
Uh, any expectations?
A lot of expectations. I'm hoping that I'll be able to meet up with the expectations of um, my supervisors.
I hope they are not too hard. Like,
They look okay. They're acting okay. They're fine.
they can be hard sometimes.
Sometimes, yes.
Let's hope not.
Okay.
Hello, Azibo.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm doing good, and you?
Amazing. Could not be better.
Sounds good.
We were talking here about our day. It's a Saturday, by the way. The idea is just to say what you have been up to so far. It can be anything at all.
All right. Actually, it's a little bit kind of difficult, and at the same time, it's also my experience has been interesting because it's been just 1 week, and I'm attending my own classes online. So for me to meet up time and all that is really difficult.
Well, in my country, we have a word we usually say when someone asks our day. We say we are managing. Yeah, managing. So
All right.
you are
Yeah.
managing too.
Yes.
I'm gonna be a great manager. I can see.
So I was wondering what this is all about. Like what we will be doing. Yeah.
It's gonna be a session so far, and we are waiting for more people to come. And once we can start, yeah, more information will be given.
Okay.
Okay, Anderson, I think that Tumenta and Tina can go ahead to introduce themselves and then we can start. So wherever the others meet us, they'll just continue. Plus, we're live streaming, so they can watch.
Where's the bomb bomb? You guys should take now and leave. They can leave.
All right. Sounds good. So I'm going to start by introducing myself again. I'm Anderson Lando. I'm originally from Angola. I'm going to be your, let's say, kind of a, not supervisor or mentor, but I'm going to follow you guys through your journey here. And today is basically a welcome you guys, so I can meet you and you can meet me, know a little bit about each other, and you will be able to ask questions and etc. So today mostly it's gonna be an introduction to these new sessions that you guys are having. Yeah, that's it. Next, we can start with Tina.
Welcome. Hi, Lando. I'm Tina. I'm going to say.
Is this your first time starting the session?
Yeah.
How long has it been?
A week.
A week. Great. I think for all of you it's gonna be a week, I guess. Okay, thank you. Tabby or Tabby?
You can call me.
Sorry, how can I call you?
Yeah, you can just call me Liz instead of Tabby.
Hi, Lizzie. Thank you.
Hi. Welcome. Okay, my name is Tabby Lizzie. And yeah, it's been a week too.
Great. Where are you originally from? Cameroon?
Yeah, I'm Cameroonian.
Great. Same state as everyone?
I don't know where. I don't think so. I'm from the southwest. Well, this is the southwest, but yeah, I'm from the southwest.
Yeah. What is it called?
Where is?
Sorry, come again.
I didn't get your question.
What is the state called?
We don't have states. We have regions, and from regions we have divisions and then subdivisions. They don't have states like that. So
The
if you're in Cameroon, we have regions and then they're broken down to divisions and then subdivisions. We don't have states in Cameroon.
So what will be the region and division?
Okay, I'm from Southwest region and I'm from Fako division. Fako division. Fako.
That's a great name. It sounds interesting.
Fako. Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa. Also a week here, right?
Yeah, a week here.
Great. Tiola?
6 months. Hello again. I was in cohort 2, so I've been here for 6 months, but this is my first day of internship, like I said before. So also I'm from the Southwest region, Fako division, and this is my subdivision. Yeah, I have a subdivision. It's similar to Lizzie's subdivision. If she knows it, then I will too. But we're from the same place.
Great. Have you had a chance to meet each other?
Yes,
Great.
we have.
So I hope you can kind of also help Lizzie during her stay here with us.
Yes, yes, I can. I will.
Great, thank you. How was your experience in the past 6 months so far? Can you share a little bit more?
Yeah, I can. So my experience was it was good. The beginning was rough, but I was determined in the beginning to make it through. What else? So, can you give me more context on what to explain on?
Like, what did you do? What did you learn? Projects you have done in the last stages, or things that you found really curious?
Okay, so projects we've worked on just hair, a and a website where you could book hair appointments. It could be barbing your hair or braiding your hair. That's one of the projects we've worked on. What have I learned? Or what made curious? Okay, so front end. What languages have we used and frameworks? We've used JavaScript. We've used React and Next.js as well. Those are things that I hadn't used before, or rather, I've used it back in school, but I don't understand the concepts because I was just rushing through it. But then when I started ISC Learn, we went over the concepts again and we kind of stuck. What else? Working in a group, learning how to work in a group. That's one of the soft skills I've learned in this during this program or during my 6 months program because it has been kind of challenging since I don't live in town. I had to travel from Douala to Boya on Saturdays and Sundays to attend classes. So I was a blended student. So learning how to work in a group helped me a lot. That's one thing I'm grateful for. What else did you say? Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I hope you didn't do it by yourself while you were within a group. Usually happens.
No, no,
No,
no.
great. So it was a great experience, I hope.
Yes, of course.
Thank you. Uh, Tumenta, please. We cannot hear you, Tumenta. Only white noise is coming. Yeah, we can hear you now with a little bit of white noise. Let's see if it improves. We cannot hear you. Try to come to the mic of the computer, perhaps. Can you hear us? We cannot hear you. We cannot hear anything. Yeah, try to get closer to the mic.
No, don't close yours. Just talk.
Okay.
Great.
Can you get me now, sir?
Amazing.
Hello.
Hello again.
Hello, sir.
So,
Is it okay now?
yeah, now it's working.
Okay.
You can go.
I said I'm Tumenta. I've also been here for 6 months. I'm also an intern. Today is my first day.
Wow. Can you share a little bit of your experience during those or these 6 months? What did you learn? What did you work on? Yeah,
It's been a very difficult journey, but from the guidance of my trainers, I overcame it.
amazing.
Yeah. Then I worked on the one project I worked on was a Java website clone. Yeah. It was a team project actually, strictly for front end, no back end. Yeah. Another thing, I also learned some soft skills. I also learned some soft skills here, like teamwork. So that's what I can say.
Amazing. Thank you. Usually, when someone says it was something simple, it's because it was something really hard. They spend a great amount of time to learn and grasp it, and then they just say it was simple.
I can't get you, sir.
I said, usually, when someone says it was simple, it's because they took a great amount of time to grasp the concept, and in the end, they just say it was simple. I think it was the same with you.
Okay, sir.
Great. How is the first day going on a Saturday?
Yeah, the Saturday has been cool. I started it with some tutorials for TypeScript. Then later on, Madame Loni was briefing us on our internship.
Great. And expectations for the internship? How it will probably go?
The only thing I can picture ahead is how difficult it is. So,
That's great. That's great. I love it. I love it. We're gonna talk more about it, about
okay.
the challenges. That's great. Yeah. Next one, Azibo. You are muted. You have to unmute.
All right.
Now I can hear
Can you
you.
guys? All right. All right. My name is Azibo, and I'm from originally from the Northwest, but I'm based in Yaoundé. And it's been I started. It's been a week now.
How is going the experience from day one until here, and any challenge? Has it been simple, perhaps?
I can say it's been very difficult, because I'm coming from a different background. I was an art student and trying to get into tech, and you see that the main focus on what they have been teaching for the last week is based on maths, and it's really tedious for me. I don't even know if I'll pull through with this, but I'm here and I'll see how it goes.
Come on, hang tight with us. We are gonna make it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I
it's
hope
part of
so.
the process. It's part of the
Okay.
process. If it will be easy for you coming from a different background, then I will say you are a genius and you will have such a bright future, and you probably shouldn't be with us right now.
Okay.
That's a
Okay.
compliment. But it's difficult. I've been there. You've been there. You're just gonna get through
All
together.
right. All right. And also, I'm not in. If I was in Boya, I would have loved to come in person so I could meet the other guys, but I'm really far from them. So
No
I
problems. We're
just
gonna
have
make it
to.
happen.
All right.
All right. Loni, you're the last one.
Anderson, you probably mean Lawson, the other guy in blue.
There's. Oh, I didn't see you, Lawson. Is that how it's pronounced? You are muted.
Lawson, your mic is muted.
All right, sorry about that. It's the name is Lewiston Lawson. It's kind of an inside joke around here at this point in time. But the name is Bungano Lewiston, and I've been here for 6 months and counting. I was a part of the previous cohort. My original background itself, I come from engineering background too. So, but I was more involved in product designing. But so far, I've been able to get myself entrenched in the full stack development space. But primarily, I would say I'm a decent front end developer, and my back end is shaking, but I'm getting onto validation soon, so I should be able to clean that up as well. So as challenges go, it's been quite a challenge for the back end, especially, but the front end, I would say I don't want to say came to me naturally, but I didn't have to struggle that much because of my prior knowledge with digital product designing as well. So that's a brief intro for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lesson. Your name ends the same way as mine, so thank you. Yeah, I can understand the pains you are having. Definitely, this is a part of the industry that is not being talked. Oh, it's not talked much, but there has been some talks. It's called it the Great Divide. It's basically you have computer science or computer engineer. I'm gonna refer to it as a CS or computer science. The computer science has two paths. The first path is the creative path, more of a person like a painter. You have design, how you design things actually, yeah, how to design things. And you have the other part, which is more logical. Both parts is it's all about designing, but one has more of a visual aspect to it, and the other has not. And that's why 10 years ago, there will be positions specifically to address that great divide. So the great divide, front-end development, more a visual role, and usually interacts directly with the end user. And then you have the logical path, which is more of back-end path. And there you also have DevOps, you have system engineering, system designs, and etc. But it doesn't mean that one side is less than the other, because to build a great product, you need both. So I can understand you, and we're gonna address that during our sessions. So thank you so much. Can you share one of the projects you worked on?
Okay. I was a contributor to the Ijara website, clone website, which Favor talked about earlier. I've also been able to build an AI chatbot, which I integrated Google's Gemini with it. And I also built a project, Just Here, which is meant to, it has three user groups, the clients, the service providers, and the admin. So in a nutshell, the project is about, it's like a marketplace where service providers, specifically persons with hair, so that's by persons with hair, I mean hairstylists and barbers, they can go there, post different hairstyles and other services they offer within their salons, and clients can come and look at some of these styles and book a session with them. So I wouldn't say the project is complete, but we've got a long way, and I was a main contributor to that project, which was built with Next.js.
Great, nice to hear. I think Loni helped me here. Perhaps another day we can have a session where the participants on that project can explain to the other people the challenges, the processes, requirements gathering, how they did it all, so we can all be on the same, let's say, on the same pace. So basically, we have a diverse group of people who are working on this field for more than a year at least, as is the case with Lawson. And we have people who are working on it, and in a short time they have been successful. And there are other people that are just starting out, like the rest of us, like Teola, Gazebo, and etc. So they can kind of understand what you guys have been going through. This can be another day. So for today, that's it. Thank you so much for hearing. I think this project was really promising, and I wanted to hear more.
Okay. Thank you very much, too. Thank you.
Before we can continue, Loni, do you want to say something? Some remarkable things that must be said in introduction, please. You are the grandmaster.
When you say, what can I say? Well, as a trainees have shared their experiences. I mean, this is practically how it has been. I wish more of them were here to say how it has been for them. But on the side of mentors, trainers, and supervisors, we of course do our very best such that they can come out with a reasonable portfolio, a portfolio that is strong enough for them to actually excel. So in the case of Lewison, sorry, Lawson, Fiola, and okay, Lawson, Fiola, and Tumentai left the meeting. These are trainees from cohort 2, as they said, and they have more knowledge at this point compared to the cohort 3 guys, and of course, more projects that they've done. So, as you said, we could organize something else, and perhaps by that time, the cohort 3 guys would have that's cohort 3 of software engineering, sorry, because there are data analytics guys in here also, like Lizzie and oh, it's just Lizzie. There are two other data guys who are still to join the meeting. So hopefully by that time they would have, had some reasonable projects to show or to talk about. So guys, today's session, all of this was just an introduction, but today's session is just going to be, as Anderson is here, just a whole conversation with him on software engineering and data analytics a little bit. So Anderson is a software engineer, and Anderson has been in the game for quite some time. So his full name, I'm giving his introduction or his bio. His full name is Anderson Kabuya Lando, and Anderson is a software engineer from Angola who is presently in Germany, and he has some amazing experience. Anderson has worked as a full stack engineer, IT specialist, front end engineer, and so on. And he has worked at companies like IBM, Objective, and Layer X, which are all big guys in the tech industry. So today, Anderson is going to be sharing his experience, giving you guys some tips and insight on how to succeed. And it's basically just going to be a whole discussion session, because when he's done, there's going to be like some sort of Q&A so that you guys can ask whatever questions you have or clarify whatever doubts it is that you have. So Anderson, you can take it from here. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much. I'm just like a guy like you guys too. We are more than anything brothers. We come from the same continent, and our continent shares the same struggle. The same struggle you face in your country or in your region is the same struggle I faced or faced in my country. It's the same. A little bit of background. Before, when I was a kid, I wanted to be like my father. My father is an economist, so I wanted to be an economist. But it all changed when I had a computer in my house. It was a broken computer. There was just a keyboard on it that I was interacting. So basically, imagine a not a laptop, like desktop computer with a big monitor, a not working keyboard. There is nothing showing off, and I was just hammering the keyboard because I was playing with it as if I was playing a game with it. And I think it all changed from there. I used to be a gamer as well. I'm a PC master racer. I was at least. Um, I started modifying games like GTA San Andreas, GTA 5, and etc. And I got kind of liking how to interact with those modifications, being able to troubleshoot the problems of why the game is not working, and if you have played computers, there are some errors which was really regular or really well known, which is like the lack of DLLs. I had to do that. And back in the day, we didn't have ChatGPT. All we had was searching on the internet, like Google, how to Google. So that's how I started. During high school, I did technical IT, which is kind of a field to prepare young folks to be able to work. It's more of a direct studies. I did that. I also did computer engineering during the college, which was really different for us. Was and continues to be 5 years, which is different from the rest of the world. So during college years, I started doing some freelancing, and this freelancing was in the design space. I was doing front-end development, building websites, because 10 years ago, the internet was a new thing. Business had to rely on Facebook to be found. Business did not have any website, and especially for business that relied on importation, exportation, or just selling B2C, they hold on. Time to wake up. They could not be found through the internet. So I saw that as a survival means to me, and also as a learning for me. So I was doing website. And during the website development, I noticed that they lacked something that it is really important for web design, which is a brand of colors, or they just call it branding, which is a set of typography that a company needs to use, and also a set of color that a company needs to use or to communicate to the world. So when doing a website, or when designing a website, you need to have a set of typography and a set of colors. And it was really difficult to really build everything from the ground up. So that's how I started in web development, building websites, recreating websites. And I got a little bit good until I started doing a little bit of logo designs, but just using typography. And when I learned typography, everything changed to me. How to have it. I started developing a taste for good design. And since I was talking to the customers, I kind of saw myself as a person working on products. That's how I started in software engineering. After college, I had my first experience where I was the lead developer. I was a solo developer, not a lead developer. I was a solo developer, where the idea was to build a real-time web application for the catering industry. Catering, we are talking about the bars, restaurants, and etc. It had to be real time. So my responsibility was talk to the stakeholders, ensure that their vision is being developed and implemented. I was the designer and I was the developer. So both, anything from back to end, I was doing it. I did the mobile application using web, specifically for that, and I did the SMS, or the back office, also on the website using React.js. What else I can say? In terms of my positioning, I call myself product engineer because I like to build products. Right now I'm building a product as well. It was something for the pandemic, but now I'm building from a portfolio. I don't have much products to show because I usually work on private projects. So I wanted to build that, and I wanted to work on mobile. It's been amazing so far. After that experience, I went to work in the IT field. This IT field was to work at IBM. Our client was the national air company, which is called TAG, and the idea was to revamp their whole infrastructure. And for me, I saw that as an opportunity to be able to work on it, but also in the long run, kind of merge into development internally. And yeah, I worked there briefly until the project had to be canceled. Unfortunately, it happens a lot when you work with other companies and you are not part of the internal team. So projects are created and then canceled midway. It's normal. It happens. Then I found another company, and this was the best experience because in software engineering we praise a lot of about quality. Quality is really important, and it was at this company that I learned about quality. So if you are working, you're gonna face quality at some point. Quality means being able to develop an application with the least amount of problems or bugs, but also being able to write code so other people can read and understand. So that's quality. So that's basically for me. I call myself product engineer because I like products, and I've been working so far mostly in JavaScript environments, Node.js, React.js. Now I want to play around mobile development a little bit. So I'm doing React Native, which is React.js. And in terms of backend development, I tried to go back to the object-oriented programming. There's a lot of things for you, so sorry, but you can ask questions later. Yeah, that's it for me.
Thank you so much, Anderson. So, guys, with all that Anderson has said, you have any questions for him on his background before we move forward to the next phase of this session?
I am curious. I'm sure the catering side which you built, that was probably your first project. Am I correct to assume that?
Can you
Like
come
your
again?
first, the catering project you worked on. So I'm assuming that was your first full stack project.
Yeah, that was my first full-time job.
Okay, so my question is, what was the biggest challenge moving from like an individualist to working in a team and having to collaborate and also like building because such a site, I believe it's going to take a lot of just literally a lot mentally and also probably expand knowledge and all. But I'm just curious, what's your biggest challenges and how it was collaborating with teams?
Okay. In terms of collaboration, there was none because I was the solo developer, but I was collaborating with the stakeholders. There were two of them. The biggest challenge for me, since it was my first job, it was actually work on a product. What is a product? What is a software program? Product. Oh, sorry. What is a product? What is a software program? We call it. They're both the same, but we call it product whenever we have to build something, take it to the public, and monetize on top of that. That's called product. And it is not a personal or a pet project because it has money involved. Whenever you put money on something, the dynamics shift completely. So for me, the biggest challenge was to build something with higher quality and in the least amount of time, or like we call it, we had to go to the market, time to market, great design with the short time to market. Basically, I had to design something with the higher quality and then launch publicly in the least amount of time possible. That was the biggest challenge. Why was a challenge? Because when you are working with in a product and you don't have that much money, you need to go fast. This is a startup world. You don't praise much quality. You basically your objective just build something that is interactable, but having bugs is acceptable. So what I did was something amazing in terms of developer experience, basically developer experience. So great code, great technical decisions, but pushing fast to the market. That was the biggest challenge. And by doing that, I took how can I say this in English? What is the word for that? I took some appreciation for writing good software because I was doing fast. So that was the biggest challenge, balancing technically and the business needs.
All right, thank you very much. That sounds exciting.
Yeah, not so exciting because you have to work every day, every hour. That's not exciting.
But when everything comes together in fruition, and you're able to look at and appreciate the work you've done over however short time it was, or
Yeah,
overcome those challenges, there's always this reward that makes it all worth it and exciting.
yeah. So basically, it's like a great example that I see, since we are brothers, is we are talking about braiding hair. Whenever you go to the salon, you have a lot of processes before braiding. You have washing, detailing. What else do you have? You have combing, so then you can braid. When a client is not paying you enough, you kind of reduce the products, use low quality products, and
Yeah.
go faster. But when the client pays you a lot, you have to go
Oh,
gently, smoothly, use ah so
definitely
nice.
make it worth it.
Yeah. So imagine now you have a client paying. The client is saying, I don't know the currency, but the client saying, I'm gonna pay you 50 USD of USD. I'm gonna pay you 50 USDs. I want to wash the hair. For you, it's nothing. It's nothing. But the client say, if it comes good, I'm gonna pay you 500. So basically, you have to pay, kind of balancing something that doesn't
Yeah.
exist. So it was the same thing I did. It was really low. The let's say not the salary, but we didn't have nothing to work with. But having the idea that we will achieve something amazing, yeah, and it paid off.
That's great. Happy to hear that.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, then. How about going forward? Are there any like sort of projects or areas which you want to touch in terms of experience and like exploring?
Great. There are a lot of things. It also got impacted in some of way b- because of AI. I wanted to go, or I wanted to expand into areas that I have knowledge in, and I can put my knowledge in working. So, which areas are those? I'm talking about mobile experiences, like native, not native, but mobile. If it is native, it's also good. Right now, I'm working with React Native. It's been amazing. Um, I don't know if you have been doing it, but if you have worked with copying web design, doing web design, redesigning web design,
Yeah.
websites, sorry, whenever you see something great on the internet, you're like, wow. Instead of doing what you have to do, you're just appreciating the design. How does it work? Wow, I like the colors. I never had that with the mobiles. I never had that. But now I'm working on a mobile. I'm starting to appreciate other apps like the Wise application, WhatsApp, Google Maps, how the user experience, basically how easy and comfortable I am using that application. That's why I've been loving it so far. Another area is improving even further my backend skills in terms of finding the right architecture, code design, um, also system design. So that's one of the areas I want to work on. But in terms, generally speaking, mobile experiences, data intensive applications, because the growth on those areas is just so brutal. It's hyper growth, like 100x growth. Yeah, those are the areas.
All right, sounds great. I wish you well in those areas.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm saying that sounds exciting. I wish you well as you continue to expand on those areas.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, that's it for me. No more questions. Thank you.
All right. Are there any other questions? Does anyone have anything else to add? Okay. Tina is turning her eyes, probably hoping that I'll not call her. Okay. Anderson, so I would like to give you the floor from here, but then before that, I just want to ask you for the trainees, like as beginners, how can they avoid feeling overwhelmed by the volume of things to learn?
They cannot, I believe. It happens, you know. It's like when you are in high school or at a university, you have like 6 things to learn. It's impossible. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's really difficult, and it will demand a lot of you. And there's a lot of things to learn. And as a person, I believe there are 3 things. I call it the pyramid, whatever. But I call it the 3 things. So you have this shape, and there's only 1, 2, 3. So 3 things you have to do. That's the only thing you have to worry about in your life. If you have more than 3 things going on, you'll not be okay with that, because you have to sleep 8 hours, you have to work full time 8 hours, and then you are left with another 8 hours to do something. And that has to be only one thing to be really good at. So it's almost impossible. So when we have a lot of things to do, you have to decide which are the most important thing to achieve, and the rest is just optional. Then you focus on that. If you have time, go back to the least optional things that you can work on. Now, regarding computer science, in the beginning is really hard. Yeah, it's really, really hard, because you have to, the first thing you have to is understanding or thinking in terms of computer, how the computer works. So you can imagine in your head, and when you are coding, you can just code without thinking, oh, it works this way, it works that way. That's the first thing. Working how to think logically in terms of computers. That's the first thing. Then understand a little bit of how communication works. The basics. We're talking about the basics. Doesn't matter if there is AI or not, just the basics. How networking works, how the data flows from one computer to the other. That's the basic thing. Now, you might say, oh, that's still a lot of things. That's why you see that computer engineering or computer science is one of the most high-paying jobs, because people really have to study hard to get there. And if you want to get there, you have to study hard, because there's a lot of people in the world that are studying really, really hard, and they are like 100 times better than you. And the only thing that separates you from that guy is how well and committed you are to your learning progress. If you are not into actually in the tech field, you just want to know how it works, learning how to think logically, and what parts move around. Yeah, that's the necessary, so you understand how things work and why they work. For instance, how why design is important, the human interaction, what is a system, why there needs to be 2 people to develop a well-maintained program, why the costs are so high, and how you can leverage nowadays AI to reduce the costs. So basically, you are a person who understands things, but not necessarily the person who builds things. So it's gonna be hard to not feel overwhelmed, but being decisive what to learn, what is the most important thing. That's what you have to do. You can search around the internet. Ask me, ask the other guy, what is the path that is the most optimal to you? The path it is, for instance, Lawson is a person who has been working on design. Perhaps he has been working on design because he liked design for the first time, and he say, "Oh, I like it. Let me work more on it." But for the rest of you, you don't know that, so you have to be overwhelmed. Go on the backend side, see if you like it, Go do networking to see if you like it. Do design to see if you like it. Do project management if you like it. Do business even if you like it. The idea is to do as many things as much as possible for you to understand what you like and what you don't like. So you can decide. Of all the things, I find it I find it interest. I like it. I like to work more on this side. So I'm gonna. So that's it.
Thank you so much, Anderson. So, before I let you continue, I just want to ask a follow-up question regarding what you just shared. So, what habits should beginners have in order for them to grow really quickly?
To grow quickly.
In order for them to grow quickly.
Oh. The growing quickly, it's a subjective phrase because each person is different. For instance, I've met a person in my college years. I did IT in high school, but this person never did IT. So this person comes from business, and he comes to the college. But that person actually got really well in computer engineering or computer science out of the blue. It was even for me. It was a person who has been doing it for longer. He just did better. So if I had to have an advice how to grow quickly, it wouldn't be applicable to me because it's subjective person to person. Some of you may grow faster. Some of you may grasp the concept like this. Some people might take longer. Some people might have to study even harder just to grasp the concepts. So the basic I will say to grasp the concepts faster is just to keep hammering until eventually, yeah, because everything is already built. We have inventions from 19s, yeah, 17s, like Nikola Tesla. He did something. All we have to do is just read. All we have to do in this world just read. So why we cannot read? What is it that we cannot understand? So yeah, just read, read, read. Have references. Um, yeah, that's what I'll say. Keep reading. More questions, Lonnie? Okay. The question about learning was how what is the advice for you to grasp the concepts faster? How to grow quickly? I say that it is it is person to person. So some of you may grasp the concepts faster, and some of you may take more time to grasp the concepts. So growing quickly is subjective. So what I will say the basics is to keep reading things because all we have to do is just read in this world. Things have been invented way before us or our ancestors. Everything is written. All we have to do is just read. And that's actually the basic of this field. Computer science is like being a medical, it's like being a lawyer. You have tons of books that you have to read, and you have to read really well. So just read, keep reading, keep learning. That's the shit code. If you don't learn, you're not growing, and if you're not growing, you are stagnating. When you are stagnating, you will not have opportunities. More questions? Lonnie, you there?
Yes, I'm here
Okay, more questions?
trying to resolve an issue. All right. So Anderson, thank you so much for that response. And it will depend on what you share with us throughout the rest of the session. So I'll just leave it to you from here, so you can proceed with what we planned for today.
All right, no problem. Thank you so much. This was our introduction. Has been at least an hour for us, so I'm gonna be quick at this time. The idea here is to provide with some tips for how you to succeed, or basically an introduction of how this field is all about, or what is this field is all about and how it works. So I know some of you have been working for at least a year. Uh, Two people at least have been in the previous cohort for 6 months, and this is your first internship. So you are already applicable to implement some theory and actually go much farther. For the rest of you, all you have to do is just follow the materials, where logic and creativity merge. Nonetheless, it's also one of the most highest paying jobs where individuals are self-taught. So what does it mean? It means that most of you will land opportunities without ever going or having to go to a college. That's how computer engineering is different from the medical and the lawyers. Usually they have to go to university and pass a national exam to be, let's say, certified. In computer engineer, that's not necessary. If it is good or bad, I don't know, but I think it's a good thing. So even though it is possible, don't get it twisted. It is also one of the most competitive and stressful position in the whole world. So you must study like a doctor and like a lawyer. You just don't need to be certified, at least in some areas. It means that you have to practice like a painter and then throw your painting with no further reason because it was shit. I don't know, perhaps because it was not good enough and you want perfection, perhaps. But that's it. All you have to do is practice, practice and practice and practice and practice. Also read, by the way. It also means that when you start to practice more and read more, and you start to go further, you will see that the more you know, the less you know. And that's true. That's why people have some sort of a there's a imposter syndrome where you have a, let's say, a meeting, an interview, or you have to talk to the public and you're suddenly like, I don't know nothing. Yeah, it happens, but fear not, it happens to everyone. With that say, I will start to give some advices I have prepared here. The first thing is having low ego so you can be mentored and manageable. And this comes from the person who also was a junior and also led a team in his life. Nobody likes to work with dickheads. They are the worst kinds. Nobody likes them. And you need to be manageable because you need to interact with people. Whenever people deem you as a hard to work with, the communication in your working environment will not be good. So don't be a dick. Second tip, keep learning. keep learning, keep reading every time, everywhere. Yeah, just do it. And I believe that one of the regrets that people have the most, especially for old people, when they are asked what is the thing that you regret the most, I believe they would say not 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 trying harder. Yeah, even for me, I would say that. Even though I really grinded my ass during college years, but I believe that I will still say it. So do your thing. If you have fears, it's normal. When you have fears, it's actually a good thing. It means you are uncomfortable, and whenever you are uncomfortable, like whenever you are taking time to grasp something in your head, it means you don't know it yet, and you have to, if you really want it, you have to learn it for you to grasp it, and that's a good thing actually. Whenever you have fear, it means a good thing, and whenever you actually go beyond the fear, you grow as a person, because when you have fear, you are here, and you don't know that concept yet, so you cannot talk with other people because you don't grasp it that well. But once you step into this phase, you are learning, or you have grasped it already, you are a different person. So yeah, keep learning. Buy books, or we are brothers. Go to the internet, search for a book, and download it. When you have a job and you like the book so much, buy the physical book and keep it in your trunk. Now I don't know how to say it in my languages. Buy it in your cabinets or something like that. Listen to podcasts. Have references. We're gonna talk about references later. Yeah, that's it. Which takes me to the next point, which is enough is never enough. And that's a sword with two faces. The first phase of the sword is that you will want to be a perfectionist. And the second phase of the sword is that perfectionism will lead you to waste some time. So you have to balance both. So allow yourself to be seen, share your progress, and work with the rest of the world. You have LinkedIn. If you are more into professional things, and you should be on LinkedIn, by the way. If you are more at design, you have Behance, which is like the holy grail of designers, where they share their project there, and you also get a lot of inspiration. You have Instagram as well, if you want to reach more people outside of tech. Yeah, you have that. Which takes me to the other ones we talked about. Keep learning, and then we talked about enough is never enough. But we kind of are reaching the plateau, right? So the next advice is count your blessings. This is the title of a song. It's a South African house. I love house music, and the title is "Count Your Blessings." The song is so chill, melodic, and the idea of counting your blessing is to enjoy your wins, have a rest, go to the cinema, hang out with your friends, have a dinner with your family. When you allow your brain to rest, it even performs better. For those who are working in tech for like months, 6 months, when you are working or when you faced obstacles, you are like 3 hours in the computer or the whole day trying to fix something. When you go to the shower or whenever you go to sleep, you are there. Yeah, yeah. And it hits you like, oh, that's the solution. You're like, no, 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 no. You get off the bed. You're like, yeah. And it might work or it may not work. So have a rest, guys. It's just amazing. Yeah. And besides having a rest, have some kind of hobby that it is completely different from software engineer. Have a hobby that is creative. For instance, people like to work with wood. That's creative thing. You have to think, but it's not the most critical part of your brain. I don't know how it's called, but there's an area of your brain that works for that. Yeah. Me, for instance, I'm an active person. I like to hike. I like to walk. I used to run. And if you have seen La Casa de Papel, Money Heist, you see the professor having physical activity. That's really good as well. As long as you have a hobby that is completely different from your field, that's amazing. If you like to draw anything. If you like to do braids, yeah, make clothings, great too. The next tip is it's all about facing your fears. facing the rejection, to be able to grow a thick skin, especially if you, not especially, you are Africans, you already have a thick skin. Basically, it means that you can take criticism. You know, there are no major critics of your life than your parents. Your parents are never happy with you. Like, you did something amazing, show them blind face, like, that was, yeah, you should have done that. Duh. You know, you have already a thick skin. You just have to translate that thick skin to the tech world. And what does it mean? It means that you have to remember that this field is for innovators and creators. And that means that criticism and public scrutiny is going to be always there. Who knows about the new Jaguar design, the car design, Jaguar? No, nobody knows the Jaguar design. You know it? Who knows the new Apple design, like the newest? They have some design going up, like some effects. Both companies, the Jaguar and Apple, have introduced new designs. However, there's a lot of criticism. For Jaguar is such a classic car, and usually in the car industry, I'm not talking about the new cars and the new car companies like Tesla and etc. But the car industry usually goes for timeless logos. Toyota has a timeless logo. Suzuki has a timeless logo. Jeep, they changed recently. Who else has a? Nissan has a timeless logo. Mustang, whatever. It's all timeless. But we are seeing emerging companies with new logos like Jaguar, GP doing their redesign, the Chinese of bring your own themes, BYD. Jaguar is such a classic company, and they introduced a new design. And one of the main colors, it's a purple or pink. It received a lot of criticism. The person in charge resigned immediately. About Apple, they introduced a new design for their system. I don't know what it's called, but that design has been in the industry for some time now, and we evolved from that. We actually kind of dropped it, but somehow Apple brought it back, and people were saying, "We have seen that before. It's not good," and it was not good on the first time. It was not good at all. But what do those companies have in common? I mean, what Apple has in common? Like, they didn't give up. They listened to the customers. They learned with their mistakes. They iterate and they improve. Those are really important in tech, especially in product engineering. Listen to your customers so we understand the pain point. Understand the problems. Iterating means going back and forth. If you understood the problem, give a solution and show it back to the customer and test it to see how it performs. And then we have the improvement, the actual improvement where you release to everyone. That's what those companies do. The next thing, find your references. Better yet, find a mentor. Having a mentor is like having an old brother or that really cool cousin of yours. Yeah, it's like a cheat code to life because you will not make the same mistakes that person made. You'll have pragmatic wisdom. That means you'll be able to adapt faster. If a person who is just like you, if a person, is just like you, he's into braidings, and he has done braidings for a lot of people, either braidings or cut hair, and you're also learning. When you see that person working, you are not seeing the mistakes. You are only seeing the great result, the perfectionism. But to reach that perfectionism, it took a lot of trials and errors. Those trials and errors, you will not have to go or you will not have to pass through it again, because you are only seeing the better part. That's what a mentor or a reference allows you to see, only the better part, how to do things in a better way. And if you ask why, she will tell you because of this, that, and we X, Y, Z. So find a reference. Go into the communities inside your countries, international communities. Find the people who kind of you like their ideas, and follow them through social media. They're always sharing something. For those who are not sharing so much, I do not share that much, I think, at all. But I also have references, and whenever I publish something, it's something I really like. That's it. Um, another thing, having a mentor is also really important, and having a mentor is something that's difficult. But when you are at such an early stage of your career, it's amazing having a mentor, not only for your career but your life as well. Like that mentor will see you for what you are. A mentor is different than your parents. Your parents have seen you since child. They give birth to you. The only mission they have to you is to keep you alive. A mentor, not. He just met you, but he will see like, oh, this person has some desire. I was like you when I was growing up. Okay, come to me. What you want to achieve? This and this and that. This is how you do it. Let me guide you. He will see you for what you are, but mostly he will see your wins, the most ugly wins. He will see them, and he will also be there when you start to count your blessings. So having a mentor is really, really important. It's the shit code. The next thing is investing yourself. So investment is a hard thing to talk about because it has many parts on it. How I see investment is that you always take the wins and put on yourself, and that can be through money. For instance, whenever you use money to improve yourself, it can be through buying better clothing, of course, buying better wig, perhaps, yeah, because you have to go to that event, you have to be chic, fancy. That's investing in your image. Buying better hair care products, yes. Buying those badass glasses that makes you look like a Latino drug dealer so babies can follow all over you. That's an investment of your image. See? But for you, investment can also be buying books. That's the most important thing. Like I said, reading is the same thing. When you read a book, it's like reading a mind. It's like reading the first experience of a person, the ugly things and the bad and the good things. So the more you read, the better you'll be able to write. And this is something we brothers have in Africa. There is always people saying Africa is the birth of the world, kind of thing like that. Africa is something like that. But when I moved to Europe, I saw that people read a lot. And I don't read that much, being honest. I don't read that much. People here, they read a lot. And why I'm saying that? Because people keep saying, oh, we have this Pan-Africanism like mindset. Everything Europeans took was from Africa. Egypt was the great empire. But somehow we don't do nothing what was before, We are not a great country. We are not technical people. We do not innovate, Why is that? Because we don't read. That's the best. That's the problem. When we don't read, we are not able to write, and when we are not able to write, we are not able to express our emotions. When you go to college, especially college, high school, college, you will be required to write. But how can you write if you don't read? So to be able to write, first you have to be able to read. Same thing for for coding. You're on your face or where you are reading, oh, you are coding a lot, a lot, a lot. People who have worked in the previous cohort, they were working with other people's, and they were also reading other people's code. And they are just like, I'm not understanding this guy's code. What does he do? It happens in the real world. So all I have to do is just keep reading code. The same thing for books. Keep reading books. That's a way of investing in your knowledge. But you also have to address your image. Start with your image when you have money. This is not something that is important now. Usually, I'm your brother. You can leave when you get like to the second, third job, but your image also speaks a lot about you. I don't need to talk about the girls about it, but for the men's, it means investing in the oil for your bird, investing in a better quality shirts, white shirts, it's impeccable. Another way of your improving your image is how you speak. That's your image. Boys, you know when you speak, a person will tell 1,000 stories about you just from your accent, how clear you are. That's why whenever you go to talk to a woman, she's like, nah. Is the first thing. First thing, your voice. Second thing, your wardrobe. Your voice is really important. How you communicate well. How you transmit your ideas. Because you are going to work from today and for the rest of your lives. You are going to work in a team. And you have to express your ideas. You have to be very intentional about your objectives. If you want to get to that level, you have to be uncomfortable. But just because you are uncomfortable, it doesn't mean that you have to stutter, So you have to be able to talk. And it will get to that phase. That's one of the hardest things to do, to change how you talk. But definitely, please address that. And I'm talking also about soft skills. Soft skills are a myriad of things. It can be a lot of things, soft skills. Everybody's saying that. But the most important soft skills is how you talk. That's something just that blows the mind. So those are the advice. I'm going to kind of go back through them. Have low ego. Let me see if I missed something. Yeah, have low ego. Keep learning every time, everywhere. Enough is never enough. Sometimes you will be a perfectionist, but you also have to balance about delivering your result. Sometimes we say it. Delivered is better than perfect. We say that on the industry. So you have to balance yourself. Count your blessings. Enjoy your wins. The only people in this world that will remind how hard you worked is your family. That company you worked for the whole weekend, that party you didn't go, your company doesn't care. Yes, you launched the product. Yes, people loved it. The company doesn't care. You are replaceable. What about your family? So count your blessings, please. But please also study really hard. Go hard on both spectrums. Study really hard, work really hard, enjoy your time really hard too. And don't take drugs. I'm not talking about drugs. The fifth thing is face the fear. Face the rejection. For us brothers, we already have that. We are in Africa. And to grow in Africa, you have to have a thick skin. You are walking in the street, a person might take your phone in the back, so you are always vigilant. There is always that rejection that you have every day, every corner you have to negotiate the price of the tomato because it's expensive and you don't tolerate that. That's a thick skin. You just have to translate to the tech industry. Yeah. The next thing is find your references. Find the references or find people you can look up to, people who are better than you. But if you do better, find a mentor. Find a person you can be alongside them so they can see your progress and they can guide you better. A person who you can say, I did this project. Can you look at it? Can you criticize it? When the person criticizes, not good. I don't know what is it, but it's not good. And you'll be like, oh, you should not say that. No, 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 don't say that. That's the fixing we are saying. That's the criticisms you need. When you go to the companies to launch a product like Ape or whatever, when you launch the product, people will say the bad things. They will never say the good things. So you have to be able to filter the bad things and only the good things. Sometimes the bad things are good, sometimes they are not. They're just useless, like 80% of them. The mentor will be able to guide you. Like, you are growing to a broke up, and your mentor knows you have a work and how good you have been. So that mentor, the same mentor that is guiding you through your career, can also help you guide through your life. So that's both sides. And the last thing, invest in yourself all the time. Buy books, buy workshops, keep increasing your knowledge or keep improving your knowledge, improve your image. Improving image for the men is simple. The basic thing. I'm a woman, Lonnie, you talk to them. Men, take a shower. Every day, every one day. If we are in winter here in Europe, we are in winter, but even in winter we have hot water, so we can take bed every day. Buy the I don't know how it's called, but one for the pits, armpits.
Deodorant.
Deodorant. Thank you so much. Buy that. Perfume. If you usually the women can select the best perfume because in Africa we have like myriad of ship perfumes, and you need skills to find one really good. But they're just difficult. And if you have money, only one perfume is enough because African is a tropical weather. And if you buy a perfume for the summer, for the hot weathers, you can wear during the day and night, just one. And a good perfume is like yours, is like your mouth. It's like what comes out of your mouth. It's the first impression. The perfume allows you to speak even before you enter the room. You're walking in the street and just pass someone is just, oh, it smells amazing. What is the perfume? That's the first thing that talks. That's your image. But again, you don't need to worry much about it. But if you are interacting more and more with people, have that in mind. Your perfume, how your mouth smells, and how your cloth smells too is really important. And keep having a growth mindset. That is the best. Keep learning. Enough is never enough. Keep learning. The only difference between computer science, medical school, and law school is that perhaps you do not need a formal education to enter this field, but the bar is high, is even higher than those fields. Yeah. So those are it. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, Lonnie made some questions here.
Yes, Anderson, thank you so much. Before we go into that, guys, do you have questions for Anderson?
Okay.
The floor is open. If you have a question, just go ahead and unmute your mic and ask your question.
Yeah, please. If you have questions, just open your mic. Don't need to raise your hand. Just open your mic.
Hello, Anderson. you hear me? Okay. So you spoke about a lot of things. Thank you for taking our time to explain the things that you explained. Can I give a recap on what you explained?
Yeah, sure.
You said a lot of things. So you said a lot of things. You started by saying in software engineering, well, this is what I took down. You said in software engineering, quality is very important, and what you explained by quality was that building a product in the shortest amount of time with few bugs and a small amount of resources. Is that what you said? Okay, when is that not unfair to the developer when they give you like little resource? Like it doesn't make sense. Is that not wicked? Let me not say wickedness, but it's just why would they give you little resources and expect the best results when you're a beginner? Like, how did you go through that? Can you explain? What did you have to do to be able to manage? Okay, let me rephrase.
I got you.
Uh,
Don't worry, I
okay, you
got you.
understand what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah, I got you. If it is fair, it's not fair if it is a big company. If it is a big company, it's not fair at all. The big companies will give you resources. They have the money to give you resources. They should give you resources because it is also in their interest that you can achieve the success. Now, for startups, that's the meet and grind. That's norm. We don't have that much resource, especially in Africa. In Europe, the companies can raise money, but still they don't have money, even though they have money, just to pay salary. But resources can mean like cheap computer, you having to work on your own computer. Lack of resources mean you are designing in Figma. Do you know Figma? Great.
Yes, I
It's like
do.
it's like using a Figma or another software that is really helpful for the company, but that software requires payment. The company cannot afford that, so you have to find another solution. That means less resources. Another thing about resources, the most important thing is time. The small companies do not have time, especially big companies. It's all the same thing. There's never time. That's why AI is booming so much, because computer science has ever has ever has been for thousands of years. I don't know, thousands for years now. Computer science has been a field where the salaries are really high. The products to be able to develop those, the products, the software programs used to help or to aid in development, they cost money. So computer science has always been a costly field. That's why AI is booming so much. That's why companies are not hiring that much of juniors, because AI can do their work. How to navigate that? How to navigate an environment where there is not resources? You have to read a lot. You have to drink of too much. You need to have a lot of perspectives. You need to research a lot. Perspectives come in many different ways. One way it may come is through, let's say, a workshop. There is a workshop that Lonnie is organizing for the next month, and there will be a lot of people in this workshop. There will be talks. You don't know nothing. You just know the topics that will be talked. During that topics, you will gain some knowledge. It's not like you can apply those, but it will stick to your head. Like, oh, there's something available, and you don't know when in your life you will need it, and that's the thing about the investment. But it may come helpful when you have a project and you are wondering to a problem. You're like, I remember the talk. I can do this X and Y. You don't know how to solve it, but you know a way or a path how to solve it. So you start researching. You remember that you listened you listened it during an event, and you're like, oh, let me see if I can get the event back. So you keep researching the event, you see the people, you see the topic, you get in contact with the people, you get in contact with that person, for instance. That's a perspective. Another perspective is you being able to interact with Lawson because you were part of the same cohort. Lawson comes from a different background. He does design, or he did design. So he has a different mindset. In believe it or not, as a person who has the same background, comes from the same environment, it's just different. It hits you differently. If you are a designer, Lawson is a designer, but you would say you are backhand. As a backhander, you now, yeah, as a backhander, you now know how Lawson thinks. You start to know the things to appreciate in front-end development. And the same thing might happen vice versa, where you are the front-end developer and also is the back-end developer. So you are interacting. So that's a way of kind of how to face the obstacles in a low resourceful environment.
Okay, thank you so much for explaining that, Anderson. I'm very I just wanted to appreciate you for talking on all the points that you spoke on, but also talking about how we look and how we present ourselves, even though you do not address the females, you address mostly the males, but then that's what makes your talk different because you brought it down to a, how do you say it? You made it practical, if I can say. The fact that you used examples like for the guys getting a white shirt, brushing your teeth, getting a good perfume, that was really nice. I hope you can also talk to the ladies. I know you are not one, but I mean, you should know something. So I'll be grateful if you spoke about that. And then you said people should not see you as hard to work with. But yeah, that comes back to working in a team. Anderson, you would agree that there are very difficult people in this world. So they are the ones who go out and say, "Oh, you're difficult to work with," but they themselves don't see that they're difficult to work with. Like, how do you? You've probably worked in teams more than I have. So how are you able to work with difficult people who think you are difficult to work with? I'm not saying anybody has said I'm difficult to work with. I'm just trying to say that just in case I encounter them and they are difficult to work with, and then they're pointing me out as difficult to work with. What do I do? Do I start from fresh and start being nice and just kissing up to them, which isn't right? Or
Yeah,
what am I supposed to do?
that's not the right thing. It's not the right thing, but it happens, and that's actually the strategy. If I'm a hard person to work with, definitely I'm a hard person to work with. I'm also easy person to work with. It all comes down to how open you are. You have met people that you can just talk about anything at all. Those people have an open mindset, and that's really important. How to reach that open mindset? You have to read a lot. How do you know a person has an open mindset? He can talk to anything, and none of the things you will talk will hurt the feelings of that person, even though it's truth. It will not hurt them. That's how the open mindset the person is. He's open to see different perspective, even though he already knows it. An example is people all the time. Oh, there are two warm topics in this world that is so hard to talk. The first one is politics. The second one is religious. Politics is a different kind. I like religious, and I have been through many religions, and and we are Africans. Since we are talking about Africans, not every African is that because we have different religions, but from like back in the days in Africa, we were a polytheist people who believe in many gods. Yeah, and people who believe in many gods usually for them it's easier to understand people who only believe in one god. I don't know why is that. Yeah, but whenever I talk to religion to someone, I just try to see it through their perspective. It's not ever through my perspective. If I see the perspective, I can understand them. If I cannot see it through their perspective, through their lenses, through their eyes, I will never understand them. So I need to be empathetic And that's the word. You have to be empathetic. In a business environment, you have to be empathetic because you are dealing with the different departments. You are a front-end developer, you are the engineering side, but you will talk to people who actually own you. And who is that people? People who have the money. Who have the money? The business department, the marketing department, the people who bring money to the company. Usually those are the people who will make the biggest decisions that will shift the company. And it is in your best interest to understand how they work. You have to talk to them, you have to interact with them. Because if they make the whole decisions about the product is gonna be shit. And you have to be able to marry kind of a way. So being empathetic is the thing. Yes, they're gonna be hard to work on. That's how it goes, you know. Even the best friends, if you know your best friend, like your best friend is the best friend because you're able to talk about anything. It will touch that person's heart, will hurt them, but at the end of the day, you will be like, it hurt me. It is true. Damn, I like you. Damn, thank you so much. That's how it works, you know.
Thank you so much. My questions end here. That was very clear. I have to be empathetic. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, I have
Okay.
a few questions I would like to ask. Okay, firstly, during your introduction, you said you were in Angola and then later on moved to Germany. That's right.
Yeah, it's right.
Okay, I just wanted to ask, why move to Germany? Was it because of work or just the opportunities? Like, let me see if I can restructure the question. Do Africans really have, like, do we really have, as software engineers, as IT personnel and all, do we really have so many opportunities in Africa? Do you think Africa is like maybe I don't know, maybe in the nearest future, 5 years from now, Africa is going to have like a lot of markets for IT personnel, firstly, and secondly, everybody in IT should they be aspiring to maybe leave Africa to I don't know, maybe, or even be in Africa but work like out of Africa and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm putting the question well for you to understand it. Yeah, that's my question.
Understood. Yeah, understood. There are two questions. Why I left, and if the continent will ever. Um, yeah, I understood the question. Let me write here. If I don't forget. Opportunity. Africa. Why? Okay, now I get the question. Okay, why I left my country? The reason why I left my country answers the second questions you have. Why I left the country? Um, it was mainly due to a career opportunity. I was already working for a European startup, but again, I was still in my country, in Angola. And in my country, in Angola, I finished my college 2021. It was supposed to be 2020, but COVID pandemic, it happened. Before graduating, I was already looking for jobs, for opportunities. In my country, like Nigeria, it's a oil, it's a it's a petro state. We call it petro states, where the economy is all dependent on the petroleum. The biggest companies are usually in the on this field, and there was no opportunities in my country. There was an IT field. I worked in IT field for IBM, but it was not computer science. It was not engineering side. It was me helping. Oh, oh, Anderson, I have a problem. My computer is not working. Can you come help me? Yeah, sure. Anderson goes there. when I joined the company, I knew it was the beginning of something, and perhaps with the project being successful, I will be able to now being able to do what I study, which was computer science. But it was not possible. So I went again in the market. But the opportunities are so slim, you know. Why is that? Because Angola imports everything that they need, even software. It it was about to change in 2015. It didn't change, but when the pandemic came, everything changed. Everything got expensive out of the blue. So I see now people like I was in high school, going from high school, first year in college, like you see in United States, and then started working for a big company. And I'm like, I was there. It was not happening. Yeah, that's the reason. So I was looking through a career perspective. I was like, I studied my whole life, just this field. I don't know what else to do. I honestly don't know what else to do. So I want to see how people shift software. Where can I go? Anywhere, anywhere outside of Africa. Because even inside Africa, the opportunities are slim. We are just starting now. And we're going to talk about the second question. If uh, the question was something that I talked about, Lonnie, is basically how it easy to move one country to the other, how it easy people to work in another country. And it is possible within Africa, especially in your region where you have the SFA. It is really easy for you guys. I imagine you have better trades. But in Angola, our trades, we have South Africa, we have Namibia, we have Congo, Botswana. It's more of tourism. Yeah, more of tourism. It's not a trade like it happens here in UE, where you buy a product from Cameroon, it gets to Angola. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. It's not in that level yet, by the way. So if I had to work for another company inside Africa, it would mostly be on the entrepreneur side, entrepreneurship. Or a company will see me somehow and yeah, Anderson, we like your profile. Do you want to work in Egypt? You want to work in Morocco? You want to work in Tanzania? You want to work in Cameroon? You want to work in Nigeria? Yeah, definitely. Here in Europe, it's quite different. Europe, the European Union is what the African Union should be. You are so united, but we are not so united. We all know that. So yeah, if other people should move out of Africa, it depends. It really depends. This is a person-to-person side. If you do not have opportunities, but you have slim chances of working out here in Europe, yeah, try that. Try that because, like I said, in one of the advices is you have to face your fears. If you don't do it, one day in your life you're gonna regret, or you at least will be like, what if? What if I try it? Oh my God, I will be in Europe right now. It's been 3 years. What if I tried? What if? What if? We have that feeling. What if? What if? So yeah, there are other people in Africa who are doing an amazing job. South Africa has Yoko. It's a company that is building local software and payment software. In my country too, but it is now open. But when there were people actually building payment system, it was not possible because of legislation. The legislation is one of the most important thing of a country. If a country does not allow you to do something, you will not do it. You will be illegal. If you do it, you're caught. Yeah, you're illegal. So it was not possible. Another country is going like after, is opening, but opening a little bit. It's not open as much as South Africa, not as much as Tanzania, Ethiopia, Nigeria, I think Cameroon too. You have these startups doing a lot of payment systems and etc. So, did I answer the question? Why did I move? The opportunities in Africa?
Yeah, you did answer. I also have a last question. During your introduction, you talked about the projects you worked on, that's the winery, bars, and all that you had to work on, and you said you were the lead developer, and you also said that you were like an entrepreneur working for a company. So my question is, how did you switch from working for yourself to working for someone? How was the shift like for you?
It's quite different, definitely. And I believe that's one of the reasons people, after working for other people, when they have the opportunities to start their company, they just start. It's different. If you ever work with someone like Loni, for instance, it's different. She has to wake up even if she doesn't like. That's a part. But she will always wake up with a smile on her face because she's on a mission. It's different. Where you're being paid to do someone else's dream. So you're gonna wake up like Monday. Drink coffee, drink Red Bull, not hitting you enough to work. Yeah, it's different. It's different. Yeah, it's different. When you are the guy, when you are building something, we call it mission. Like every business, it needs a mission. And when you have a mission, it's not about the money. It's like how many people are using your product, how many lives are you impacting. It makes you wake up. It makes you work 16 hours per day. It's not helpful. I'm not telling you to do it, but try one day to do entrepreneurship. That's it. The shift was not that bad, or it was not that hard, because when I shift, I was always working in a startup, and the same grind set and the same mindset was there. So I was working hard, I was working fast. Yeah, I think the only difference perhaps is the approach and how you have to communicate more. Yeah, I would say that.
Okay, thank you so much. I think I don't have any questions for now.
Yeah. To finalize your question about people in Africa working to the, basically is how free are, how easy and free are, how easy and free how easy and free people are in Africa to work for other countries. It depends a lot on the opportunities. Right now, it's true for immigration, because we leave our countries is shit. We go to another country within Africa. But I hope one day, and it will happen, that we're gonna reach that level. It's just gonna take a lot of years. Why? Because Africa is always 5, 10 steps with the rest of the world. One of the reasons I believe is that Africa is too closed. It's a good thing to be closed, for instance, because we are such a different place than the rest of the world. But being so close doesn't help us. For instance, Nigeria is a petrostate, but Nigeria is one of the most diverse culture of the world. They speak so many languages. It's so hard for them, like, to interact with them. It's possible, but it's different when Europe, for instance, is such a diverse continent as well. But for long periods of time, and great emperors have created wars in order to unite them. Even though Europe is so big, officially there's only 24 languages. Each country has one language, and you can speak through the whole country. And when they want to communicate, they use English. It's quite different in Africa. In Europe, is a person can speak 3, 4 languages and speak with 4 people from different countries. In Africa, it's the same, but there are more languages. You go to one country, the languages in the north, the languages in the south, and those south and north, even though there is English in the middle, they might not speak English. Or let's say my country speaks Portuguese. They might not speak Portuguese, and you speak English. That's the difficult part. So we are too close, but it may happen. It will happen. I hope, and I will work on it too.
Thank you, Anderson. So, does anyone else have any question? If not, then we
Yeah,
can move to the next session.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, Azibo has a question.
From all what Mr. Anderson has just said, I was like, I have like three questions, and from the first question, we bring up the second question, and when you answer the second question, you also come to the third question.
Mhm.
So I want to know like what are the parts that are really difficult for beginners in software engineering.
Should I answer now?
Yeah, that's the first question. The second question is I would uh, like to know I would like to know how. Like I would like to know how. Like I'm still starting, So I would like to know how I'm improving, something like that. Because I believe your answer from the first question, like the difficult part, and if I'm able to overcome that part, I will need to know how I'm improving on the program. And then the last question, I want to know which of the specializations is in demand right now, because I heard there's front end, there's back end, and there's full stack. So which of them is in demand? And then lastly, I want to know how someone is qualified to have a remote job. Like, how can someone work from home, especially from Africa and Cameroon in particular?
Okay. Anderson, before you take his question, I think that you should merge the answer with the answer to these other questions. So, first of all, how important are foundational skills compared to tools and frameworks? And also, how can trainees practice effectively outside the structured lessons that we give to them? And lastly, how important are portfolios when job searching? So I think all of these questions should, give more insight to Azibo's questions. So please just like these in as you answer.
Yeah, thank you, Lonnie. About Azibo, he asked what are difficult parts for beginners. That's difficult
Yeah,
to answer
yeah,
because it
in
is a,
software.
it is a very subjective question because it depends person to person. Yeah. And one of the questions that Lonnie asked also is how fundamentals are important. So matching both questions, the difficult parts are definitely the fundamentals, the base of everything. Software engineering is like a cake. There are multiple layers, and
Okay.
usually the base layer and the most high level layer are the difficult parts. And actually, it mirrors how a cake works. The base is really difficult. Once you put the layers, not so much. When you have to finalize, it's so difficult. If you messed up the top, you mess everything up. You have to remove. So it's the basic. It's the same thing. And engineering field or computers engineering field, the engineering field is also like a painting. The hardest part is not painting because everybody can paint. You can see on those museums like people just brush and like 100 million souls. The hardest part is when to use the right brush, and you have to learn. Not only learn, but you have to practice. So the hardest part, I will say, is visualizing. That's why I say it's very subjective. I'm a person who visualizes a lot when I'm coding. Other people just they spit into the keyboard. I visualize a lot how the memory is being accessed, how the data is flowing from backend to the front end. for instance, yesterday I was working on this app and I wanted to do something. I was like, how can I do this thing? I was thinking, imagining, Then I was like, oh, okay, pass this, it will be here, share the state. But other people, they might not have this same thinking approach. So it's subjective.
Okay.
How to know you are improving?
Improving.
Oh, no, now answering actually your question. For your questions, you have to focus on the fundamentals, like
Okay.
how memory works, because the memory is the most basic thing. Everything you do in a computer, it is being done in the memory and the CPU. Those two concepts is really important to know how it works.
Okay.
The second thing is structure. Since you are coding, you will need to understand which structure is the best. Like okay, you have a memory. Imagine a memory is a bucket. And
Okay.
that bucket, trying to have an example, practical example. Anyway, yeah, in that bucket, you have to store things neatly. You have kind of spaces that you can arrange as containers. And you have to do it for the whole boxes. For when you put all the containers, there should be no extra space inside the bucket. Remember, the bucket is the memory. Now, what are the containers? The containers are your data structure. And that's something really hard. Even for me, I have to study it again because let me see my book in a moment. So even though you have that, you also need to study them. This is one of the books that I'm
Algorithms.
yeah. You have to yeah. Yeah. Understanding how it works will allow you to actually write better software. When I was doing Java in university, and I was working with JavaScript because the languages were different and they presented different ways that I could think of. And then I say, oh, a vector is this. A vector in C language is quite different than a vector is in JavaScript. So yeah.
Okay.
How to know you are improving? Just follow the course. If you are submitting well, you are having good results through your submissions or assignments, and you are doing by yourself. In the beginning, you will do a lot of copy paste. That's normal.
Okay.
You just mirror what other people are doing, like tutorials. But when you follow a tutorial exactly how it is, then you say something like, if I did this redesign, follow with this is exact tutorial. Now let me do a let me do a redesign of another site if I can do it. When you start, you'll be like, oh, I need to do X. That tutorial has X. You go to the tutorial, apply,
Read.
watch, apply. Oh, but applying for this project, because different projects, but the same thing applies. And you'll be like doing that back and forth, back and forth. You are improving because you're not only thinking about the project of that tutorial. You are thinking about the project you have. You are facing problems, and that tutorial has the solutions. So you are now learning which solutions to apply. It's like studying. You have to study the problem, the project you have. Then you have to know which solutions are applicable to that problem. That's you will do it until you know, oh, this serves for that, for this, for that. Then you start making more projects, and you are facing more interesting challenges, and that's how you are improving. Actually, when you are facing fears to have more challenging and difficult projects, never back out from a project that is difficult. That's growth.
Okay.
Um,
Understood.
Specialization. Well, Specialization is really hard thing to talk about, especially me as a person who specialized himself. That's really why there are there are discussions in the industry that a person should not specialize. Yeah. And why I say that? Because I specialized myself too. I specialized in front end development, and now I'm kind of going other way around.
Okay.
But specialization is the only way to grow faster. Lonnie said something about being overwhelmed. When you are overwhelmed, is you have a lot of things you have to do it all at once. Some people
Exactly.
do it, some people may not. So specialization is just saying, I'm taking this much. I just want this here. You start to take it out again. So just get a little bit of one thing and you become really good on that. But when you become really good at it, make sure you are really fucking good at it. Because the competition, so sorry for the language, that's me. The competition is fierce in this industry. Engineering is like painting. There are
Actually,
artists in this world. They are so good, so good. You have to compete with them, and they also specialize. And you have other people who don't specialize that much. A person who does not front end, he's a back end developer, but he knows how to do front end, but he doesn't do as much as good as you because he doesn't specialize. But he solves more problems than you. Doesn't mean a person is, yeah, in the through a company eyes, yes, it's good, but they do not know the nuances that you know. And that's what makes a person specialist. The more nuances you know, the more professional you look.
okay.
The last question about remote jobs, you have to be really good. Again, same thing. You have to also understand the market, how the market goes. If you see the market trend, there was after pandemic a lot of opportunities because money was free. How can money be free? It's about money policies around the world. And there was a lot more jobs. Nowadays, forget about remote job. Unless you have remote job within your city, within your country, yeah, it is possible. Now, having a remote job through Europe, you have to be really good. Why? If you are in the hunt for remote jobs, there will be 1,000 more people doing the same thing. And you
Okay.
never know how good they are until you know them. That's why having references is good. Because when you have references, it's not that you are comparing yourself to those people, but you are seeing the reality. I like Lawson. I like his designs. Oh, I like Lizzy ones. Oh, he's really good. Let me follow them because you know they are good. You know you're like I'm the top of the world. I'm here, but you know Lawson, Lizzy, wherever they are here. Like, oh, I need to be here. So you're upping yourself. So have your references. I hope I did answer that.
Yeah, so from what you've just said, what I took down, that means I need to really focus more on algorithms, firstly, to be able
Not so
to
much on
have
algorithms.
different
Depends.
different approaches on how to target all the problems which we'll be solving.
Yeah, algorithms not so much. It's more of a general way saying because algorithms is really hard, and right now you are
Oh,
starting. Yeah, but the basics like strings, vectors, arrays. If you are in C, there's a lot of vectors. If you are in Java, JavaScript, there's a lot of arrays, linked lists. These things you are gonna use. For instance, if you ask me how a browser knows, like when you are in your browser and you are in Facebook, you go to a user profile, how the browser knows if you go back is it goes exactly back. That's like memory structure actually. And if you code an application, you're gonna use the same structure. We call it a stack. It's an array inverted. But for you to know it, you have to know the theory, nothing much, and you have to apply it. Then you have broader concepts. So go easy on you The basic things, strings, arrays, vectors, are more than enough. And as you go through your learning process, you start to add more things.
Okay, okay. There's another question on the chat section. Can you please go through it? Someone sent a question on the chat section.
Yeah, Lonnie had some questions. I'm gonna go now through them.
Okay.
How
Oh,
important?
Anderson,
Yeah.
we don't need to go through all those questions anymore, given that you already highlighted the answers in some of the things that you've said. But then I have a few specific ones that I think would be very interesting for the trainees. So you can just touch on those, starting with what is in the chat here on GT Meet, and then I'll drop the rest in this same chat so that you can just pick from there and respond.
Okay. How important are portfolios, GitHubs, or case studies? Okay. They're really valuable. Whenever you apply for a job, the first thing that is important is your resume. Basically, how magical your resume looks, how your CV looks. It has to be like you are a 10x player. You are like Kobe Bryant kind of thing. You have to do a lot of things in order to achieve that. After that, they would be like, this person sounds interesting. Let me see what this person has worked on. And that leads to your portfolio. Whenever I was hiring for this company, DevTest, I noticed something. Engineers didn't have a portfolio, especially people who do not have experience. When you do not have experience, you need to have a portfolio. When you have like 3 years of experience, not that much, because I will know if you have the experience just by talking to you. That's enough. Now, people who do not have experience, they need to show that they can do the job. And how you can show it? If you work on a project, take pictures of it, take videos, upload it somewhere, and make it publicly in part of your portfolio. So when I see your CV, I see, oh, he doesn't have experience, but he has projects. That's the most important thing. So when I see that you have projects, I'm actually going there. I was different. I was actually visiting GitHub profiles, reading the code to see how a person codes, the quality, and etc. I read that. People don't do that much. Yeah, because you have like 100 candidates, you might not do it, but I did that. Yeah, they're really important when you don't have experience. Case studies, they're also really important. That's portfolio. Basically, when you have a case study is the same thing as a research paper. It's like writing a paper when you are at university. It's the same thing. It shows how you can think, how can you approach the problem, and how you identify the problem. That's something you're gonna do every day of your life as an engineer. So when you have case studies, you kind of show the use to the person. I was working in XYZ. I was doing X. I found Y, and these were the problems. I searched about the problems. There were a little bit of trade-offs. I was uncertain, so I actually implemented the trade-offs, and ultimately decided that this trade-off is much better for us, for the company in the longer run, because of X, Y, Z. Now I implemented the project using what I identified during the research, and those were the results. That's how I read a case study, you know. And if you want to see examples of case studies, go to Behance. Behance is a website for creative people. There's anything, you will see a lot of projects. The best projects is the ones that are case studies. And yeah, you have seen also in other companies.
Yeah.
Next question: what hiring managers look in a junior software? In general, one of the things we look is how good is the person? How good is the person in my technology? If within a company I'm using JavaScript for the front end, JavaScript for the back end, I'm not saying frameworks, but JavaScript, I need to see if that person has worked with JavaScript and how good they are. That's the most important thing. Let's say now I have React, I'm working with React, and the person only has Vue.js. I'm not going to access that person through React. No, I should not. So I'm going to assess that person through JavaScript because both are JavaScript frameworks. If that person is not so good at JavaScript, then he will not be able to pick React. Another thing that is really important is how the person thinks, how he solves the problem. That's why algorithm is really important. That's why companies use it as a test, because it's really hard when you are coding in front of a person, but it's really hard to grasp the concepts of algorithms, how to think in high level. Basically, that's it. Thinking high level in how you think. Another thing is actually how you think. What is your mindset? What goes in your head? What is your motivation? Most of the time, the companies don't hire you because you are the best. They hire you for who you are and how they believe you will improve in your role. Usually the companies will always look someone here, yeah, but they always find someone here. There are people here, yeah, but when you are here, they want to see if you are able to reach here. How they will know it? Through tests, but most importantly, through your communication. How you think. They will ask you what are the projects that you have worked on? What is the most interesting challenge that you solved in the last few months? It shows the gritty things, it shows the passion, and it also shows how well you are, how deeply connected you are into this field. I would say passionate again, yeah. It shows you how you are enthusiastic, I would say, kind of way, yeah. Okay, how important is the documentation, communication in technical roles? Really important. They're so important. I like to say that computer science is like many people writing books. Oh, many people writing only one book. Imagine this. We don't have that, but let's imagine this. You have two books here, but imagine it's only one book. Yeah, it's a lot of pages. Lots of pages. And this is all filled with code. Only two people have worked on it. And if I ask you, hey, can you go to page 60 and alter the code? And this code has been written for like 10 years ago, was written 10 years ago, you'll be like, huh? That's how important documentation is. Basically, when you are writing code, you should not read for you. Oh, you should not write for you. You should write for the other person. Because you already understood the problem, you already knew which solution to apply. Now, other people have to do the same thing. And you have to write for them. Not for you, for them. That's why in the beginning, you also have to focus on code quality. And code quality itself, it's well documented. Because when you write code in such beautiful way, other people will read it actually quite nicely. So yeah, it's really important. You have stories like even before AI, this is more before AI, people working in a company, people living and etc. And you cannot take the code because it's so ugly and you do not understand. So what you do, you build it again. The same thing, you just build it again. because you're not understanding it. You're not making sense of it. That's why the communication is really important. Communication, even more. The world does not move without communication. You are an engineering person, but most of the time you're gonna talk to the business guys, and that's one of the facts I love about this field. You will always work thinking on the business side, but the business side will not do so much for you. What I'm saying is, you are building something. For you to understand the problem, for you to succeed in that area, in that context, you have to understand the problems. Then you have to understand the business health at that particular time, because you have to use tools, right? You have to also know which approach should you use that will give better result to the company. But the other way around, not so much. They don't need to understand how computer works, but you need. I love this part about this field because of that. So yeah, communication is really important. How well you communicate, how clear you are with your communication, and also the clarity you provide, quality reassurance you provide to the other people, how trustful you are, and how clear you are with your intentions. Those are really important. The next question is, what does sustainable success look like in tech, and how do you deal with imposter syndrome? Sustainable success. Ooh, that's a many way. There are many ways I could answer this, but I will answer in a way that you are not running a sprint, you are running a marathon. Yeah, there are like other fields, medical, whatever, law, whatever. There are people that will achieve success before they are 25, 23, before they are 30s. But there are people who are going to achieve success after 35, 40, 50s. Because people move differently. The time is different in your body, and the time is different on that person's body. The environment also is really important. So sustainable success, if you are, well, answering the question, long term, that's a sustainable success. When you are measuring yourself every 3-5 years. But again, technology moves way faster than that, and you will be overwhelmed. Just have, as the time goes by, you will learn how to learn and how to unlearn to learn. That's a skill, actually. How to unlearn to learn. As you go, it gets easier. How to deal with imposter syndrome. That's difficult. Nobody really has a question for that. But one of the ways to deal with that is just facing your fears. Being really analytical about yourself. I'm a really aware person. I know my mistakes. I know where I can improve, and etc. That's how it's not how I beat imposter syndrome. It's how I improve my relation with imposter syndrome. When you know a person is really good, you look at it, you kind of compare. Oh, you're really good. When you put another person side by side, you're like, oh, really good. You go head to head. That's just imposter syndrome, because the person thinks he or she is not good enough. But if you put the same person and compare to the other person who is like here, definitely you're gonna feel imposter syndrome, because it's no longer imposter syndrome. Yeah, it's actually saying you lack qualities. You don't have qualities. You're not good enough. You have to improve. That's not a bad thing. It's just saying, being honest with yourself or to the other person. You lack this. How can you improve? You can improve this, and that. So when you are an analytical person, or when you are very aware of yourself and your environment, you're always doing such analysis, and that's really important. Last questions. Okay, if I were starting over what I will do, I will not go to college, definitely. I will go to college later on my years. College is really important to teach you the formal education, how to write. Yeah. Nowadays you can do everything through the internet, etc. You can learn, but college is different. In computer engineering, we say that the most fundamental things is going to be taught at schools, but the most modern things will not be taught at school. Sorry. Yeah. So I will start on that. I will work harder than I did, definitely. What else? I will study more, read more, and travel more. That's really important. Read more. You cannot stop learning. It doesn't matter if you are reading a fictional book. You have to continue. You have to continue learning. If you know more languages, you can express yourself better, so your communication becomes better. Travel more means you go to different environments and you observe different patterns there is to life. That's really important as a survival skill for you, but also it helps you to position yourself better. If you are, let's say, in Cameroon and you go to Nigeria, where there is another tech hub, and you see how people approach their project, your mindset is going to be different. It's like reading a book. You're never the same person. So I will travel more and at a younger age, but my father did not have money, so that's a different thing to do. I'll have to work first, then I travel more. I would, yeah. Okay, not good enough to be in tech. That's like imposter syndrome. The times are changing, especially with AI. That's a really, to be able to answer that, I will have to basically compare that person, what are their skills and etc. And it goes more than that. It requires a lot of context. So yeah, I will not answer that because that's imposter syndrome. What mindset should trainees and graduates carry beyond this training? You should have a growth mindset. You should be curious. Like I said, this field is for innovators and creators. The more you are creating, the more innovative you are, the more you are thinking outside of the box, the more success you will have. Yeah, especially if you want to play in the high league, in the higher leagues. Yeah, I would say. But that doesn't mean that you are not good for where you are. You know, the reason why I love this field is like I can create things. You know, it's been a while since I created something for myself. Like, yeah, I've been doing for the app. No AI during the code, a little bit, but no AI I didn't use no AI in the backend development. I like it so much. Having that thought of, oh, it's working. Oh, it's not working. Why it's not working? Oh, it's working. I like it. I like that. So you have this, you need to have this growth mindset, thinking outside of the box, having different perspectives. Now, what is one habit that has had the biggest impact in my career? In the beginning, it was self-discipline. Self-discipline is what allows you to work for a longer period of times. What is the other? The other is reading. I'm not saying books and anything, but researching the internet, approaches, how to write code and etc. Trying to see different perspective in the internet. Because I was in Africa. I didn't have this in Africa. You know, I'm speaking English, but I only went for 2 months in English school. So I learned on my own. Yeah. So during my time when I was studying, I was just going through the internet. Even today, whenever I see something, I want to do something, like I'm facing a problem in the backend side. What's the problem I'm facing? The code is not that clean. I'm following a methodology. It's not that clean. So I will research on the I will Google actually. That's Google. But nowadays we have AI. So that's one thing. Back in the days, people would say one important skill is Google it. How to Google it is really important. But nowadays is how to use AI. And thinking about AI, AI is a tool that will help you to do your job, but will not necessarily help you to get a job. I will repeat it. AI will help you to do your job, but not necessarily will help you to get a job. So to use AI, would need to have first a job and then applying on the job. Because most of the things we do with AI is, in Portuguese, we call it descartable, basically in English. It's like this. It's like consuming TikTok. It just comes. It's like you see a video on TikTok, how to do X. I'll show you a trick. You watch it. You'll be like, really cool. 2 days later, it's gone. That's AI. So you should still focus on the fundamentals. So yeah. What else? Oh, Lonia. A remark for the beginners. Yeah. Use AI like you will use Google. Whenever you are doing an assignments, use AI like a person is beside you, like actually talking. Because when the first thing you do with AI, the first thing you write on AI, it will provide you a solution. It should not provide you a solution. It should not also give you perhaps the solution. It should help you understand the solution and kind of gives you hints. This approach is the same approach. You will Google it, kind of. You see a solution in the internet, but you have to kind of think of it. So whenever you use AI, think about it. Try to think longer so your mind actually thinks. And when you actually hit the point after 1 hour, 2 hours, yeah, see the solution. But then again, see the solution, reapply the solution so you understand.
Thank you so much, Anderson. Really, really grateful for all the insight. So, guys, we've more or less come to the end of this session. Unless you have any specific questions for Anderson, let us know. Easy, Tina. Okay, I see Tina 2 times. Love it. You've been quiet since the start of the session. Same for you, Rollins. Like, anything you'd like to share, any question you have, any remark, just let us know before we call it a day.
Oh, remarks. So sorry. I thought you were not speaking to me. I was kind of flying here. Any remarks? Just gonna go over what I talked. Have low ego. Keep learning. Enough is never enough. So you have to balance being a perfectionist and not being a perfectionist. Count your blessing. Kind of have a rest when you study a lot because you need to rest. If you need to grow quickly, it means you also have to work harder because it's impossible to grow quickly when you are not working harder. Just impossible unless you are messy. Unless you are a very talented person. If you are not a very talented person like me, you have to work a lot. Unfortunately, yeah. If you have other ways of growing quickly, let me know, please. I'm open to hear. Face your fear. One of the skills I really learned when I was growing up, whenever I felt something like my heart, I just remind myself that if I'm scared, it's a good thing. It means I'm alive, but it is something I've never seen before, and I need to go through it. And one thing I learned about leading a team is that I always had to be the first. And facing my fears even way before being a leader, helped me in areas like there's something we have to do in the team, completely different, and I'm the team leader. I have to do it, even if when I don't know, and I never knew how to do it. Just I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be the first. Let me try, and I tried. The idea is that when something is new and scares you, it's because it's a good thing. Most of the times, yeah. So face your fear, face the rejections as well. You have a thick skin. In entrepreneurship, yeah, we call it having skin to the game. The 6, find your references you can look up to. Find people you admire. If you are a backend developer, if you are a logical person, see people who do the similar things you do or you wish you would do it. It's like being a kid and seeing Miley Cyrus. Oh, Miley Cyrus, she's so beautiful, sings amazing. Seeing Rihanna, shines like that, whatever. Yeah, same thing in programming. In your career, actually, you should always have someone you can look up to. For me, it always been YouTube. But when I was leading a team, I was listening to a ton of podcasts, and like I said again, reading books. It's like reading a mind. I never find a podcast about this. I only find references online. It was a really amazing book. Books is like you having a conversation with another person. If you want to be good with business, yeah, you're gonna go to YouTube and etc. But you're gonna read a book about, let's say, the co-founder of Netflix. They changed the whole industry. It's so amazing. If you are a creative person, you're gonna read the Disney book, Pixar, about Steve Jobs. It's an amazing book. Okay, I'm your brother, and you should learn a lot, but you don't have the money. I didn't have the money. The books we buy, books are expensive, especially when you have to look online, whatever. But again, I'm your brother. We have the same struggles. Go online, download it. I'm not saying where, but it's possible. Just like how you watch a movie. You know how to watch a movie without going to cinema. Same thing with books. But the thing is, when you get to buy a physical book, it's much better because you can when I was doing my thesis, I did read this book, and I wanted I saw something on that book. Let me go back. When you have a digital book, it's hard. You have to when you have a physical book, kind of go to the introduction, see the indices, oh, it's there. You skim it. Oh, it's there here. It's easier. Yeah. Invest in yourself, knowledge, keep learning. Invest in your image, in your technology. Investment side, you always learn about the compound effect. The compound effect is that when you invest something, you will not see the results within 1 year, 2 years. You will see only 5 years from now on. That's what people say about cryptos and etc. Same thing with your knowledge you are investing. Right now, you have already started investing, which is coming here to this session, But the result is going to come 2 years from now, 3, 4 years. You don't know. But if you don't do it, that's the thing about investment. You will not see the result. So don't have this disposable mindset. Don't have this, oh, I did this, I need the results now. In programming, you're gonna see that, but it should not be that way. In programming, what I mean is you need to find a solution, to go to the internet, find a solution, copy the code, paste it, we do it. But when we are talking about investment, something much greater, has much better value, I would say. So yeah, those are the points. The path is really hard, and you are already facing your fears. We are all here for you. I hope to be able to help you, to guide you through your journey. I'm gonna be here helping you during your assignments. I will see your projects. I will see and suggest some improvements and etc. So yeah, that's it for me. I hope to learn a lot from you. The young people always give different perspective, and I like it. It's hard, being honest. It's really hard because you're like, I become a really, not only me, people become really defensive whenever they see new things. Like our head hurts. Like Azibo is now finding the studies. It's really hard. Yeah, same thing. Like you're gonna show me how to do something. I'm like, I've been doing this for 10 years, for 5 years. Why should I change? But after that, I was like, oh, I like this thing. Thank you so much for teaching me. So yeah, learning is like that. That's it.
Thank you, Anderson. Thank you so much. Guys, so Anderson is on the Discord server and his username is Anderson Kabuya Lando. just search for Anderson and you're going to see him. So at any point in time, if you do face a challenge or have a question, you can send him a message or you can just drop it in the channel and tag him. Also, I'm sharing Anderson's LinkedIn here in the chat. Did someone say something?
Anderson's LinkedIn.
Yes. All right. I've sent the link to his LinkedIn profile here in the chat, so you can also connect with him. Just network more with Anderson. He's quite a resourceful person. So, without any further question, I think we can call this an end, right? We can conclude with the session. Anderson, thank you so much once again.
Thank
If
you
I
so
remember
much.
how to say thank you in your language, obrigado.
De nada. Guys,
All right.
I really feel you. It's been like almost 3 years or 3 hours, and you are hungry now. So it's so sorry for that. The next session is gonna be fast. I'm also hungry. So sorry for that. Thank you.
Absolutely no challenge. Thank you, Anderson. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.